Thank you. Thank you very much, Michael John. So in a few minutes, we're going to have some fun. I'm going to invite every person in the room to take part in a culinary experiment. The question is, what if you could breathe all of your favorite foods and get all of the taste without getting any of the calories? So you're all going to be invited to experience a new way of eating by breathing. 100% of the food that you'll breathe tonight will pass your taste buds, but none of it will go into your stomach. Imagine getting all of the taste of chocolate, for example, without getting any of the calories. So it's still an experimental phase of development, but you'll all be invited to become among the first people in the world to experience chocolate without the calories. So over the last few millennia, our collective human imagination has come up with the pot, the bowl, the plate, the bento box, the knife and fork, the chopstick, and with each innovation in the way that we eat, we've rediscovered the act of eating and expanded the realm of possibilities. From the large game eaten by our earliest ancestors, to modern diets that first prescribed 2 meals per day, and then 3 meals per day, and now to several small meals throughout the day, is it possible that eating is tending towards breathing? From this perspective, eating has become more and more ephemeral. Could it be that eating patterns are moving towards their logical conclusion? Aerosol cuisine. It's a mix of culinary art and aerosol science. Breathable food was invented by Harvard professor David Edwards. He's a professor of biomedical engineering at Harvard, and he worked with a double Michelin-starred chef, Thierry Marx, at the Laboratoire, an art science innovation center in central Paris. So David Edwards previously invented inhaled insulin. He's the founder of the field of pulmonary drug inhalation. The idea here is breathing drugs through your mouth and into your lungs. The first aerosol cuisine product is called Le Whiff. It's an inhaler that's based on the same aerosol science technology as inhaled insulin, but there were some key differences. Traditional inhalers are designed to deliver drug particles through the mouth and into your lungs. Le Whiff is a new kind of inhaler that delivers food particles through your mouth by respiration, but it deposits those particles exclusively in the mouth and not to the back of your throat. Le Whiff achieves this by increasing the particle size to at least 40 microns. It also distributes those food particles to the side of your mouth, thereby avoiding completely the respiratory tract. So here on the left, you can see that in the capsule of Le Whiff, food is transformed into fine particles of dry, light powder. The airflow that's generated by gentle inhalation through the mouthpiece circulates through the tiny vents that direct air over the food particles. This air entrains approximately 30 milligrams of food, and it carries it through the natural act of inhalation along the inner cylinder of Le Whiff. The fine food particles emit from small holes in the mouthpiece, just up here, and they fall by the force of gravity and the natural airstream onto your taste buds. None of this food enters your lungs, but more importantly, none of this food enters your stomach. We've started with inhaled chocolate. It's available in 3 flavors: mint chocolate, raspberry chocolate, and dark chocolate. And the total mass of chocolate powder in one of these things is about 300 milligrams. That amounts to less than 1 calorie. Whiffing. It's a unique chocolate experience. There's no chewing, there's no swallowing, and any of the nutrients that are absorbed into our circulatory system are absorbed through the mouth, albeit in very, very small quantities. Compare this to when you eat a Kit Kat, for example. When you chew a Kit Kat, sure, some of the Kit Kat touches your taste buds, but most of the mass of the Kit Kat is bypassing your taste buds and being swallowed into your stomach without you tasting it, where it's calorific. You don't actually taste the vast majority of the mass in the Kit Kat. A normal chocolate bar is pretty inefficient from a taste perspective. We announced eating by breathing in April of this year. National newspapers in 20 countries covered the story, chocolate without the calories. It made the front page of the Times of India, the Johannesburg Sunday Times, the New Zealand Herald. Following initial sales of chocolate without the calories in France, we've now put this into commercial production, and it will be available for stores in Dublin and around the world in the early part of next year. But inhaled chocolate is just the beginning. New culinary innovations that involve eating by breathing are being developed at the Food Lab at Laboratoire in central Paris. And so imagine if you can, inhaling a portobello mushroom. Imagine whiffing a cheesecake. Imagine inhaling a frozen margarita. Maybe the possibility of accessing new tastes whose current form prevents them from being incorporated into traditional meals. I'm told, for example, that the lobster shell has a truly extraordinary taste, but there are really obvious practical difficulties to incorporating this into your meals. And so in the future, is it possible that chefs will be inviting you to inhale the taste of a lobster shell when they serve you your meal? The most recent innovation to come from the food lab in Paris, where Le Whiff was invented, is called Le Waff. And so, it gets better. And so the idea here is drinking by breathing. So imagine pouring a vodka and orange, or a Guinness for that matter, into this glass dome, where it then gets vaporized into a cloud. That cloud you can then pour into a glass, and as you can see in the picture, can be inhaled using a straw. It's a Guinness unlike any other Guinness you've had before. So Le Waff is another example of culinary innovation that's been developed by chefs and scientists in Paris. But in contrast to a restaurant like the Fat Duck, where molecular gastronomy is taking place, there the top chefs are under immense pressure. Every single meal has to be of superb quality, and so it's not really an environment where chefs can take risks. What we're trying to do at the Food Lab is create that environment where chefs can experiment and come up with new innovations like this without the pressure to succeed every single time. The culinary possibilities of whiffing and waffing are being unveiled on the Le Whiff World Tour. First, there was the launch party in Paris in April. That was followed by an experience at the Cannes Film Festival. And most recently, we were in Chicago for one of the major candy shows of the year. So I'm going to show you just a short 2-minute video of people whiffing at the Cannes Film Festival. And so now, it's your turn. So you can choose from chocolate raspberry, which are the red ones, chocolate mint, which are the green ones, and dark chocolate, which is brown. And so now you're going to put the long brown end to your mouth. If you have an all brown whiff, then it's the longer end that has a slit at the side. And so you're going to put this to your mouth. And so the most important thing here is it's just like a cigarette, but the key difference is that it's just very, very brief, just very gentle, just a kiss, just really gentle. Otherwise you cough. But you should get the taste of chocolate. If you don't get the taste of chocolate, then you may need to open it a little bit further. You can try it. See some people laughing, some people coughing, some people are confused, but that's okay. So we say you open it, it's a quick whiff, you close it, you put it in your pocket, put it in your handbag, and use it later in the day. I'm finding it's like Marmite, you either love it or you hate it, so it's okay if that was a coughing experience for you. But so it's still very much work in progress. We'd love to get your feedback. Le Whiff 2.0 is currently in development and will be available early next year. And so just finally, I hope you all enjoyed your first whiffing experience. I just wanted to return to the question that I first asked. And so that question was, what if you could inhale any of your favorite foods, if you could get all of the taste of that food without getting any of the calories, then what food would you guys want to whiff? Thank you very much.